Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Carlene.
And I'm Jay. We are also known as Jaylene.
On this channel, we recap and provide our reviews for Married at First Sight.
Today we'll be reviewing episode 13 entitled The Ugly Truth.
Please subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Okay, so let's start off with Krysten and Mitch. So Krysten met with Mitch's sister-in-law, Stephanie. Krysten wanted to know that she wasn't crazy regarding her thoughts towards Mitch. Stephanie validated her. Stephanie told her not to bend on some things and don't delay saying what she wants. I believe Stephanie gave some good advice, and as the episode proceeds, we'll see that Krysten is not holding anything back. So the couple met with Dr. Pepper. Krysten had a whole list of things to share, but Dr. Pepper asked her to start with one thing at a time. When Krysten shared that she felt guilty for her iced lattes, Mitch and Dr. Pepper looked at her how we look at Mitch when he says off-the-wall things. Mitch wants Krysten to have her reusable cup and feels proud to call her his wife when she does. Mitch got nervous when Krysten revisited her dreams of flipping homes. He was like, "Why are you bringing this up again?" Mitch feels people won't be able to buy homes. And Dr. Pepper is like, "Don't put that type of pressure on her." Mitch asked Krysten could she live with the dark side of flipping homes. Krysten is willing to be educated on this and didn't really think about it until Mitch brought it up. Dr. Pepper told them to focus on their growth. Mitch was like, "I'm not going to change." Well, at least his stance with flipping homes.
Mitch needs to let that go. If that is her dream, you're going to be considered as a dream killer, and then she's going to resent you for it later. I did look up the comps for a San Diego home, and they are expensive, more expensive than LA. A lot of stuff I looked up, even in the hood type areas, is close to $1 million for these homes out there. So I can understand where he's coming from that aspect, but we all know in California everything is high. So if you want something cheap, you need to go anywhere else outside of California.
So Mitch is concerned with decision day. He wants to know if Krysten changed her stance. So Krysten wants to know that Mitch will try to fall in love with her and letting his walls down. So Mitch says he's open, and in his confessional, Mitch says he's afraid of falling in love because he doesn't want to get hurt, but he's willing to try with Krysten.
That is blasphemy. I don't believe he will even say something like that because he's too much trying to be a dictator when it comes to her wanting her to do everything that he wants, but he's not willing to compromise. And she's been compromising this whole time, so eventually she's going to get sick of it and resent him, and this marriage is going to be over.
Now we see the couple having dinner. Mitch, that was very disgusting how you were eating. Mitch tells Krysten how he's been laid back and he wants to use cloth towels instead of paper towels. Krysten was on board, but doesn't want to be the only one washing them. Then he kept telling Krysten how things are only going to get more difficult. In his confessional, Mitch wants to tell Krysten how he likes her better when she's natural, but doesn't want to bring up this sensitive topic. He's looking for a way out, and this is the most ridiculous way of doing it.
This boy has no home training whatsoever at all. You can see on Krysten's face, every time he made a slurping sound, the look on her face is like, really? Again? No home training? I just don't believe when he said, "Oh, it's only going to get worse, so pretty much you're going to be an ass. More going on in this marriage. This is why you're single. This is why this marriage ain't going to last."
So Mitch met with Krysten's sister, Rachel. Did you see how short Krysten's sister was with Mitch? She was like, "I know you, Mitch, and I'm not putting up with your mess." I like the way how Rachel was standing up for Krysten and could care less about what Mitch wanted. Mitch really thought he was being considerate when he asked Rachel how he should approach Krysten to look more natural. I really thought Rachel was going to just stare at him and be quiet. Rachel told him Is the makeup for him or is it for her? And how Krysten still wasn't sure if Mitch was attracted to her.
I just don't understand, why is he asking her sister on ways to bring up the fact that, you know what, Krysten, I don't like the way you look with makeup on, so don't wear that. Don't wear that at all. And then, you know what, with your hair, just let it go. I don't care how it looks. Just don't do anything to it. And what kind of reaction do you think that was going to get? One, to the sister, and two, when Krysten eventually find this out.
Now let's talk about Lindy and Miguel. They went to Kiss My Axe. Lindy was better at this activity, and Miguel admits that he sucks. Lindy was happy that Miguel is not a sore loser.
You guys remember earlier in the season where Lindy was talking about with her ex-boyfriends, she got away with murder? This is a prime example of how she's showing proof that she's a serial killer.
Miguel says his life is better. Lindy has many feelings and has a fear of an explosion in the marriage. So Miguel tells her that he cannot promise her a forever. They talked about being in a loveless marriage, and Miguel says he can't. Lindy says that Miguel is getting too far ahead, and this upsets her. Miguel's like, I don't want to piss you off, but that's the reality.
I like how Miguel is speaking his truth. I also like how Lindy was expressing herself, but on the same token, she keeps projecting all this negativity, and this is why, if they do have an issue where they won't make it, that's going to be why. But I do like how she expresses herself, but it just always comes off as negativity, or it's not going to work, or she's thinking the worst case scenario. And if she can get past that aspect, I think they can be fine.
So Miguel met with Lindy's friend Stephanie. Stephanie says on a trip she noticed how Lindy can become hangry. Miguel never experienced that because he's always feeding her. And on after party, Miguel says he gives Lindy food in between the filming. You know, the stuff that they don't show us on camera. So Miguel is Lindy's food pusher. Miguel tells Stephanie how Lindy is quick to anger regarding McGindy and handling challenges. He doesn't like her negativity and doesn't want to be censored. Miguel says this might be a deal breaker. Now the couple met with Pastor Cal. So Miguel is adjusting to Lindy's negativity, but it's affecting him. Lindy says she didn't know it was that bad. Pastor Cal asks, has Miguel seen her at her worst? They were like, just a little. Then that scale question was asked, and Lindy says that Miguel saw her at a 4. First of all, they need to stop asking scaling questions because their scales are all off. If that's a 4, don't show me anymore, Lindy. Pastor Cal asked, how many times has she gotten to a 10? Lindy said 2 times in her lifetime. However, she keeps scaring Miguel when she says, oh, just wait until you see me at this or at that. Pastor Cal advised Lindy to stop saying that. Why does Lindy continue doing this? It's like when someone keeps hyping something up, then it didn't turn out like the hype said it would.
I agree. I keep looking for this blow up that she keeps talking about, her worst side. If she wants this marriage to work, she needs to stop saying that going forward, because that's all he's thinking about, or he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like how Thor: Love and Thunder came out. Everybody was hyping up that movie, and when they go saw it, the hype was not real. So I look at it the same way.
Okay, let's talk about Alexis and Justin. So Justin met with Alexis' friend, and he talked about Maya, and the friend was surprised that the dog incident was still a concern in the marriage. Justin wants to check his tone when speaking to Alexis. The friend says the good is good, but the fear and time makes the bad worse when referring to the marriage. Justin's biggest fear is Alexis quitting on him like other women. So this fear makes Justin want Alexis to be with him all the time, well outside of work. Okay, so this couple had the opportunity to meet with Devon Franklin, one of the new experts this season. Let me just say that this was the best counseling session ever done on this season or even on this show. Devin was attentive to both Alexis and Justin. This was especially good for Alexis because she didn't feel this way in the last episode. Devon went straight into Alexis' clubbing and asked her what the feeling is that she gets when she goes to the club. So Alexis says it's freeing because she feels smothered in her marriage. Of course, this honesty hurts Justin. Alexis talked about other activities that makes her feel free, like extreme sports and hiking. Justin is into those things too. Justin has a fear of losing Alexis to someone in the club. In his confessional, Justin learned that he is controlling and has insecurity issues. The couple was so happy and are willing to become physical with each other.
Is it me? Or did anybody else see how Alexis was looking at Devon? She was looking at him like a piece of meat. I was like, oh, that's how she should be looking at Justin. But never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Look at those eyes. She was saying, I want you. I want you.
Okay, Stacia and Nate. So they met with Pastor Cal. Nate asked Pastor Cal if he was a freak because he was concerned with the sex toys. Of course, Pastor Cal dodged that question. When Pastor Cal asked about the L word, Stacia admit she told Nate. However, Nate says he admires his wife because of her qualities. Pastor Cal asks Nate, are there times when you want to say it? Nate says yes, and then he stops himself from saying it. He doesn't want to fall in love and get hurt. They brought up the topic of cheating. Pastor Cal asked Stacia. Stacia said she was cheating on, and Pastor Cal was like, but you've never cheated. Stacia was like, yes, I have, 10 years ago. If Nate didn't have any walls up before, he sure did after that statement. He was on the lines of, how could this good person that I know or I see ever cheated? We don't know the context. Did her ex continue to cheat and she wanted to get back at him? At this point, we don't know. Stacia is unsure if she should share anything else because Nate judged her. Nate's thinking, cheating is bad. I don't care how long ago it was.
I don't believe Nate should judge because the way he was acting at that bachelor party, he was acting like a pimp. So he really shouldn't be judging. It was 10 years ago. She was 27. As you said, we don't know the context of it. He should let that go. Hopefully they had like a more in-depth conversation about that privately. But now it's like she's going to be so concerned about, okay, if I tell him this, is he going to hold it against me? Is he going to put it in his back pocket? Stuff like that. So hopefully that doesn't hurt the relationship, but I don't know. But when it comes to a man telling a woman that he loves her, I still feel that Stacia, she's trying to push him and force him into saying it. And if he said it, he's not going to mean it. And then you're going to feel bad, like, I thought you loved me. And you're going to end up saying, I never loved you. So for a woman's point of view, just let the man get there gradually on his own. So therefore, it'll be a lot smoother and better instead of like, I have resentment towards you for making me say I love you when I was not ready.
So Nate met with Stacia's friends. He immediately brought up Stacia's cheating. He was disappointed for judging her. Nate feels Stacia is getting better with trusting him. He wants to enjoy the process, whereas Stacia wants them to be all in, like right now. Her friends told him to be curious and try to get on Stacia's level. They asked about saying I love you, and Nate explained, how he hasn't said it yet. The friends are concerned that if Nate doesn't say I love you back to Stacia, she's going to shut down. Nate believes he is being transparent at high speeds. Stacia met with Nate's friends, and she's confused why Nate hasn't said I love you yet. And his friends was like, well, he do things on his own or in his own way. Okay, so let's talk about Morgan and Ben. They met with Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper asked Morgan how relationships brings out positive, and Morgan says she has a softer side in a relationship with the right person who she could trust. She still feels that Ben hasn't given her a remorseful apology. Ben shared how he couldn't show emotions, or at least distressing emotions, growing up, and that allowed him to run. So Dr. Pepper said this was their decision day and asked, did they want a divorce? So Morgan said she wanted a divorce because Ben isn't her match. And Ben wants a divorce so he could work on himself. We also learned that he is the first person in his family to be divorced, and also he's not a doctor. So who is to blame here with this match? Ben admit that he wasn't ready for marriage, and Morgan cannot forgive if she's been crossed. So what do you think the experts are saying now?
I am not a fan of Morgan. As soon as she opened her mouth, nothing but BS came out. She can't take responsibility to save her life. I understand he hurt you. I understand that something about your character. But until we find out what that is, I'm not going to judge Ben harshly like that. At least he can take responsibility and man up to his faults. He realizes he's not ready to be married, but I don't hear that coming from her. She act like it's all his fault, and she had no part in it. She is nowhere near ready to be married. She needs to go take some time for herself, go see someone, get whatever trauma she has out and dealt with, because whatever she's dealing with right now is going to happen right in the next relationship. So I feel sorry for the next guy she's with if she doesn't got her stuff straightened out. I did feel bad for Ben when he was like, I might leave San Diego. Like, don't let this woman have you leave San Diego. This is just a learning experience for you. And I know for a fact women are going to start DMing Ben, but he's not going to be ready yet. So at least he's going to work on himself. Take that time. She needs to do the same thing. I just can't stand looking at her. She just makes me sick.
Okay, now we have the guys and girls meeting up. I think this is a season where they meet up like every episode. They always have some type of get together with all the couples. So the guys and girls met by the pool, and Lindy's food pusher, Miguel, was the griller. At this point, Krysten realized how Mitch is feeling about her appearance. Krysten tells Morgan he thought a hippie girl would be walking down the aisle. Did Mitch really think that Rachel, her sister, would not tell her all the stupid stuff he was saying? Morgan announced to the group that they had their decision day and this was going to be their last night. Morgan says she could never be friends with Ben because she can't trust him. Ben would be Morgan's friend and wants Morgan to forgive him to help her mental health.
At least Ben can be the bigger person here. Like I said, Morgan, oh man, she just gets on my last nerve. She was saying things that had no business being said. All she had to say is, we're getting divorced. Leave it at that. Everybody know what your issues are. No need to beat down Ben more than you already been doing. She's coming across to me as a bully, and she needs to get her whooped.
Stacia Nate and Lindy Miguel was happy to share how their marriages are going well. I found it interesting how these were the couples that met with Pastor Cal. Justin talked about how Alexis wants someone to be dominant, but he wants to make sure that it's welcome. Alexis says, I need that dominant energy. I don't like when others ask, do you still love each other? Or are you confident going into decision day? Nothing goes well when you put people on the spot like that. Alexis was like, if you have to choose between me or something else, choose that other thing because I should be the obvious choice.
All I heard was she wants to be thrown up against the wall. And I'm like, Justin, put her in that face down, up position.
Alexis was happy that Mitch was getting past Krysten's appearance. Remember in the beginning, he told Krysten he wasn't attracted to her and was looking for someone more natural? Krysten asked, do you feel like you're over those things? Mitch says, did I say those things in the beginning? I never said those things. Can we say gaslighting? Justin was like, no, I heard it. Then the experts came out. Why was the group surprised? Dr. Pepper asked Krysten and Mitch if something was wrong. At that point, Krysten shared the conversation Mitch had with her sister. Dr. Pepper was like, I thought you were finding her attractive. What changed? Mitch wants his wife to be natural. So Dr. Pepper was like, are you very attracted to her? Was Dr. Pepper trying to start something? Mitch doesn't know how to be sensitive. Remember, he's honest. And he's going to say how he truly feels.
Yeah, he's going to keep saying how he truly feels. And that's why he's not getting none right now. And finally, somebody says something I've been waiting to want to say all year that I've noticed early in the season. Thank you, Alexis. He has some dirty ass feet. It's like, did anyone else catch that during the season? I'm like, come on now.
Dr. Pepper tries comforting Krysten. Krysten says this is hurtful and embarrassing for any woman. In her confessional, Krysten was upset that instead of getting to know her through her best friend and sister, Mitch took that time to tell them what he didn't like about her and what he's trying to change. Krysten says she is not accepting that he is attracted to her enough or that he has come a long way. She shared how she came in a confident woman and how Mitch just teared her down. This was sad to see. Krysten was pouring out her heart and Mitch just didn't care. Krysten says, I'm done and I want an apology from Mitch.
But did Mitch say he was not trying to change her, but yet trying to change her appearance? I don't understand it at all.
Mitch looked like, you want a what? Mitch was so confused, but Krysten was raising her voice like a crazy person. In his confessional, Mitch says he never tried to change Krysten. Well, Mitch, you should win some kind of award because your acting performance could have fooled me.
He fooled no one but his mama.
Well, that's all we have for episode 13. What are your thoughts on episode 13? We love to hear from you. Put your answers in the comments. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos.
Later, everyone.
Bye.